dryer. I've been trying to customize things for a very long time. Well, I can't say trying. I've been customizing things for a long time and trying to streamline the process. Because our purchase and receive gifts and so many different things. There's a dryer. Tie-dye and stuff. I just dry indoors and not have to worry about the weather. Because I don't have the space for proper facility just yet. In time. Go. Love it. Attach your nuts. See? Mad blank whites. I gotta figure out something to do with this. Things to organize. Figure out, bro. This is what I mean about space per se. So many ideas. I haven't even had the space mentally to finish some of them. I don't even know if this shit is good anymore. Let's see. What else? Wow. Classics. This bag, a really long time ago. These two samples. Tote bag vibe. Figure out. That's what I mean about going back. Sometimes you go and look at what you made, and it reminds you, like, you know what? This was a sample, maybe it was ahead of its time. Might be time for it now. More pieces. Pop-ups. Miss doing pop-ups. I'm doing pop-ups in a while. Something about that interaction, meeting people, selling, not just the merchandise, but like the story, the ideas behind what's going on, and the brand, touching the community. So much merch, man. So much merchandise. My clothes. Somebody. It's expensive as shit is, you know? Who knows? Wow. time again I told myself that I could do. When I was going to do it, I wasn't thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah. Tough, man. That shit should we talked back and forth. Someone tell me my own. Not that, but then might make the comment. Hand in hand movement. Ain't gonna go. I feel alright with a can of a piece of bread. Half of the people I speak to that keep back, but I can still peep the shit that they said, call the energy. A whole lot of memories I see, right? That is a fact, man. You know, and that's like the other thing too that makes this like challenging in its own way. Is like a lot of this dust is crazy. Like my mom was a big part of like my entrepreneurial journey. So that's the reason that I became a business owner. Like seeing her be a business owner. So just not having that force of energy around, it's tough, you know. Biggest motivator and supporter. And just also somebody to bounce ideas off of, you know. Even if she didn't get it, it was just like the premise of having a conversation about this with somebody that you know, knows, understands you, gets it. So it's tough trying to figure it all out, get back to some sort of like normality. But having a child was like that reminder, like, man, you gotta get it together, because she didn't have her parent at the time that you were born, and she did a great job. Thus, there's no reason why you were her and your father still being alive. All that has been taught that you can't do something great and show your son and possibly more children even more. So it's like, all right, man, let's get to work. Let's get to work. It's inspiring, man. So imagine I was broke now. It's inspiring. Because like, I look at all this stuff, and it's like, I still did this on my own. Like, I didn't go to school for this. I didn't, you know, I taught myself a lot. And I was able to develop and do a lot, regardless of the thoughts of others and the expectations and the beliefs. I was still able to do a lot, and I still have so much more that I can, will, and want to do. So it's just time to really get to work and show out, block out the noise, and really put in the work. And that's kind of why I'm here. It's like, yo, I got this space, man. Let me figure out how to utilize it best, because there is no reason for you to make it so many, I don't want to call them excuses, but I gotta figure something out. I want to make this work. Like, it's not just about me. It's more than just about me. It's about him. And if it's about him, I'm gonna do whatever. Ain't no question. Man, there's so much good stuff here, man. I really gotta figure out what I'm doing. I really got to follow these pieces, man. Together, it's out, not organized, not around do it for stuff. Yeah, which on that is all the time. Kilo and fit in and building this ain't Tetris. Anything that's looking sketchy. All these pieces. focus up with my business. Show no limit. So far, but it's just kitchen. So many concepts and ideas, bro. So many. Just gotta take the time and figure it out. I've already invested the bread. It's impossible. And you know what? That actually brings me to a very interesting conversation. I feel as if we've created a culture that makes it seem that everything has to be created today in order for it to have value. And that if it's not new, it's not trendy, or it's not going to be accepted. I think it's forced creators to adapt to a very not minimalist, a very trendy, that's the word I'm looking for, design aesthetic. Like I even saw a video recently about streetwear. Just like, what is streetwear right now? Because everything that people are showing is sweatsuits with the same distressed graphics, so on and so forth, which is 100% correct. And that's because there's no more storytelling. Like nobody wants to tell a story because nobody can tell a story because nobody cares to tell a story. Why? It's about making money. It's about showing your Spotify sales. It's not about, and even if you're building a community, there's people that are building a community just to turn around and sell a course. Now, I'm not sitting here judging anybody that's selling a course. What I'm saying is that it's created a lifestyle where people aren't even starting brands to start brands. They're starting brands to make money, which again is fine, but what you start to see is very minimalistic. You don't see the same result when it comes to the culture of said business, and that's streetwear. It's now become either high-end brands make streetwear, or it's just this watered-down variation of what streetwear is. And it was crazy because I was actually a part of I came across another piece of content, in which we're just talking about a whole bunch of different brands from a very specific era, and that's the era that I came from in streetwear in the early 2000s. And there's actually two parts. I was more so in the mid 2000s. This was like the early 2000s, mid 2000s combination. But it just reminded me, man, there was just an aesthetic, there was just culture. Every brand meant something very unique and different. It spoke to different groups of people. You had like skate punk streetwear brands, you had like grunge streetwear brands, you had preppy streetwear brands, you had like urban streetwear brands, you had like just everything, and it all kind of coexisted because we all were attracted to the idea of streetwear and the diversity behind it. And it's like, it just feels washed down. Like nothing organic comes from it anymore because nothing organic resides in it. So it makes me really inspired to create because there's so much to talk about. There's so much to discuss. And I mean, even that, man, like even in current times, like, there's so much that people could talk about that people just refuse to. Especially when it comes to merchandise, especially when it comes to clothing, especially when it comes to brands, aesthetics. There's so much that can be discussed. Like what happened to politics and fashion. And I don't mean it in a divisive way. I mean it from a conversational standpoint. I mean it from a respectful standpoint. I mean it from a societal standpoint. Like, if you look back at certain eras, there genuinely were pieces that sparked conversation, that were pieces that spoke to a generation, because the idea, the concept, even the graphic was made to start a conversation. It was meant to be timeless. Whereas now it feels like everything is meant to be trendy. And I don't know if we have time for trends right now with everything that's going on. Like, but what do I know? What I know is that until I can spark that conversation, I'm just a spectator myself. As sad as that is to say. So like, room temp, ice, more like, it's just a wall now. Can't even see me with my life. To the face. And fire. Some fire. We're in Black Sopranos. This is where you go. Another one. I even got mannequins, bodices. Should have probably broke out with it. I can't sell to a bunch of people. Bitch. Reinvest. These niggas rather pay no product on themselves. Wish a nigga would. Buying me my fucking layout. Yeah. Hey. Can't even see me. Calm. Mama. another thing that people don't really like. I might as well all the time. What are the biggest things about Russell?
Oh, damn.
Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Mad work you gotta do.
What you mean?
What do I mean?
Huh?
So what do I mean?
Not that much.
That's a lot.
It's not that much.
I see where they got through the styrofoam.
You see where?
Mm-hmm.
Where was
There's
it?
a bunch of places.
It's a
By the
bunch.
radiator.
It's a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lot.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of holes. So I'm gonna stick some wool in there.
Okay.
When he comes and we move anything to.
Should I get some more wool?
Huh?
Should I get some more wool?
I'm sure he's gonna come with some, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm only saying I don't know. Just want to make sure you have enough for what you need to do.
Well, I don't know how extensive it is. I'm not moving the couch. I'm just doing it from behind the tree, from like the spots that I see over there.
Okay.
When he comes, he can, do the rest of the work.
Okay. He's with grandma or he's sleeping?
No, he's up there in his chair. I don't got time for him and his shenanigans.
Okay. Whoops. Black. Whoa, my spot. Now, with all of this stuff, I've been tasked with the creative responsibility of figuring out what to do with it. And you know what? I thought to myself, what would my mother do? And you know what? That made me think, what would my mother do? My mother would get to work. And what do I mean by that? She would start selling because, another concept, there's still value. So you're telling me that this isn't worth something to you now versus when I made it? And whatever I say is worth now is different than what it is when I made it? It can be whatever I want. If I said it was $25 when I made it and that was $2,500 now, it's up to you if you want to pay it, whether it's $25 or $2,500. So then that made me think, why get lost in the sauce of what the cost is? I might as well get to work. So then I said, all right, how about this? How about I take everything that I have in storage and create a program called the Archives. Because I mean, it's an archive of stuff, right? And everything is vintage or archive, so why not shop them on archives? And here's the most important part. You can pay whatever you want, but here's why you can pay whatever you want. My mom's inspiration for this concept was based in the fact that I grew up in an African store, right? So in the Nigerian community, there was always a bunch of haggling. And haggling can be seen a bunch of ways to a bunch of people. And as time progressed, what I came to realize, it was like a communication. It was almost like, look, I know what this is worth, and I understand that you're making money. How do we come to a common ground? And sometimes that common ground is me telling you what this price is. And it's up to you to agree. Sometimes you don't agree and you don't make the sale. And sometimes you agree and make the sale because you figured out, you know what? I'd much rather leave with something than nothing. Guess what? Kind of in the position where I'd much rather leave with something than nothing. So if you found value in it, tell me how much you found value in it. Shop them on archive. And the whole process is going to be, I'm not going to put a price. You're going to go there and suggest the price. And if I decide to accept it, I might accept it with a counter. I might accept it with the product. I might reject it. And with that being said, it allows everybody to kind of take control. Because if you own something and you really care about it, you want us to go to somebody who values it, right? Not somebody who's only going to wear it for a time. You want it to be timeless, not trendy. So even if somebody's willing to pay what you think or what they think is quote unquote not top dollar, guess what? They might enjoy it way more than you could ever express, and that's more important than anything. So that's what he said. Let me look at this stuff and see what I can do. And that inspired that concept. So that requires me to go through all this and organize it to make a seamless experience. Because I mean, somebody might enjoy this. Somebody might enjoy this, you know? Let's see. Let's see. So let's see what I could do with this space. Let us see. I'm about to shut this down, keep that rolling, and I'm gonna pull back up for part 2 on this.